Ha 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 ha. Very cool, very cool. Hey guys, how's it going? 1 second, we'll get started. I'm just updating to the places that need to be updated because I don't find this part of the job tedious at all. Nope, not at all. I wish I had. I'm sure there's like some bot I could out there that would just automatically update everywhere that I want updated. Mm, I see. In many ways, he's here. He's here. Okay, there we go. What are you talking about? I'm here. Can't you see me? Have I become John Cena? There you go. Am I invisible? Am I an invisible man? Okay. Am I muted? Hello? I'm very confused. What's going on? So, fun story. I actually wasn't planning to go live right now, but I accidentally hit the start streaming button. And I was like, oh, wow. I guess I can start now. I was going to set some more stuff up, but lobotomy. How's the website? Oh, no, I guess I'm dead. I guess I died and I went to the other world. Oh no. Oh no. That sucks for me. Yeah, so I'm like, nice. Proud of you. No. You have to go on an epic quest before I will give you that. Yeah, it constitutes a comic. I say it does. And as the president of comics, my opinion is law. Boop. Nice. Do you guys know what Hero Forge is, by the way? Have you guys ever heard of Heroes Forge? Very nice. How is the crossover biz treating you? Yeah, definitely not inspired. Why would that be inspired by that? What? Yeah, there's no way. Totally original comics. That's what we should do. That's what I should call my comic book company. Totally original comics. And just have like rip off Spider-Man and rip off Batman hanging out. Just indecisive about what to draw today. I have something I was drawing last night that I could work on again, but I like doing a little. I like warming up a little bit with something first. I actually read. What did you rip off? Rip offs are good and noble things to do, by the way. I think nobody should be ashamed of a rip off. That's good. That's fun. Do you guys hear that in the background, by the way? All that construction sound? That's been my life for the past few days. Being as we're remodeling the kitchen for reasons. Hi. How goes it? How are things? Let's start with that. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if that's really like. Yeah, Batman is a ripoff. Yeah, and he's one of the pillars. You know, ripoffs are. You know, when I say ripoffs, inevitably you'll bring your own like personality to whatever you rip off. So I don't think it's a bad idea to have a starting point of something wanting to do a story about a character you like, and then changing it to meet your own ideas. You know, I don't think that's a bad place to start, really. Because you will never create Spider-Man. You may create a Spider-Man like character, but it'll be a Spider-Man of your own design. If that makes sense. Yeah. Well, some would argue that comic books are just professional fan fiction. But it's like I don't think it's wrong. Like, but even when you're creating like original art, like original characters, I don't really think it's wrong to have the idea. to start off with. To start off with the start off with, well, what's a character I like? I'd like to write that story, and then slowly develop it from there. You know, a lot of stories started out that way. If that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. Inspiration, yep. So, like, it's why I'm never too, like, people always get up in arms about, like, oh, is this a ripoff? Is this, I don't know, I don't care. Is the story good, is the question. Do you do something interesting with that ripoff? Is the real answer. People are very, like, I'm watching more videos about, like, writing and stuff, and people are very, like very, like, judgy of people who are like, well, it's not exactly original. I have mixed feelings about copyright law, but uh, I I will say I also think people don't really understand what copyright law does and what it doesn't do, because I've seen a lot of people get on, like, authors for, like, writing characters who are similar to other characters, and I'm like, oh, that's not really the problem. The problem is that they're not doing anything good with them. Like, the instinct is to start. The instinct shouldn't be, I just want to write the story I like. Is the instinct, it should be, I want to write my version of that story. Because, like, Batman is a ripoff, and Batman is one of the biggest characters in superhero history. If you're curious who Batman is a ripoff is, Batman's a ripoff of a character called the Shadow. But Shadow, like, the thing with that is that Shadow-like characters were so popular that Batman is arguably like a second or third generation rip-off character, but still a very definitive rip-off of the Shadow. The Shadow is this is a video I made, but maybe I'll remake it with better quality this time. The Shadow is, if you're curious, is a character that originates in radio. Like, one thing that I've talked about before is that what you own your with copyright, you own your character and the words he wrote, but what you don't own is the idea behind it. So, like, if you take, like, Lord of the Rings is popularly considered the thing that innovated a lot. I don't want to say invented, but let's say coalesced a lot of what fantasy is. And if people deny that, like, I have a friend who fights me on when I say that. They're wrong. They're aggressively wrong on that, and I'm sorry, but you just are. uh, uh, but, like, so, like, you can't use, like, you can't have Aragorn fight Saruman, like, on the back of a B-52 bomber jet, you know. Like, you can't write a story with Aragorn and Saruman and all that stuff, but you can write a story that's inspired by Aragorn or Saruman or whatever. Like, you can have a world much like J.R.R. Tolkien's world, because he doesn't own that. He doesn't own the idea of having a fantasy world. Like, you can't own ideas. And in some ways, like, I have mixed feelings on copyright, but if I could give you my opinion, in some ways, I'm happy it prevents people from doing endless, like, fan fictions. Because I feel like what would happen if not is, like, Lord of the Rings would get popular, and then, like, we would just keep seeing more Lord of the Rings, and I'm happy that instead of that, we got a whole genre out of it, you know? because people wanted to rip it off, but they couldn't like just use the characters. So they had to invent their own and use that as a starting point. Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't own that idea. Yeah, exactly. Like they don't own like they don't. Well, unfortunately, the original creators of Marvel's heroes don't own any of the Marvel stuff, but that's a different discussion. But like you don't own that idea. You can't like put like a character. You can't put like a What am I saying? You can't put a character like in a Fantastic Four costume, but you can you can create a character that uses similar ideas that they came up with. Like, wouldn't it be? And that's what really gets me about like certain. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Certain writing art, book critics here on YouTube, at least, and on TikTok that I've seen. They seem to not understand that that's a fundamental part of creativity, is how we take ideas from the past and use them to rearrange into the future. And none of that means that this stuff is good. You're not entitled to success by referencing and uh, doing similar things that successful books did. You're not entitled to that success, but it doesn't mean like it doesn't inherently mean your story is bad. Yeah. Thanos is sorry, I'm reading Greek mythology. Thanos is another fun one because Thanos is just pretty much a straight up rip off of Darkseid from DC. Like, it is funny because Darkseid is always considered to be one of the best villains DC ever had, and it's weird that the ripoff got there first. Not that Thanos is a bad character, mind you. It's just like Darkseid is the character people often reference within comic books as like this big deal. Anyways, so that's my theory on creativity and stuff, I guess. Um, yeah. Well, okay, I'll throw this out there. I think it's kind of weird that they didn't because they had set that up because like um Helia could easily fill in for the goddess of death, you know. Um, I don't know. Oh well, what can you do? We are doing great. Purple is joyful. We are doing fantastic. How are you doing on this fine? How are you doing on this fine and lovely day? Good to see you. Of course, we always do. Oh, this bot got. Oh, good on you, bot, for catching that. I didn't even notice that. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Well, it is what it is. The comics are always still there. Yeah. I know how that goes. I'm sorry to hear that. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're finding some joy in it. Yeah, it's a contradiction in and of itself. Like, I'll throw out this Star Wars, if you're curious, also just going on. I've talked about this before, but Star Wars, if you're curious, Lucas has a fairly obvious points of reference uh, that if you go looking into it quite quickly, you can find all the things he kind of ripped off. But he was so broad in his rip offs that it became original again. Again, it always is. So, what's been vexing you lately, and what's been bringing you joy? Okay. Um, Fair enough. How goes the writing, Purple? How goes the writing? Sorry, just gotta almost keep quick, keeping quick watch over YouTube. Our old friend has resurfaced on YouTube, so gotta keep it quick. Gotta keep a watch out for that guy. Um, anyways, let's. Yeah. So Spider-Man, uh, ripoffs. So if you're curious, okay. So if you're curious, I've talked about this a lot before. I'm sure people are bored of it, but uh, um, if you're curious about what George Lucas has ripped off, there's a few very acknowledged things he's played. He's mentioned. There's a samurai movie by Akira Kurosawa called The Hidden Fortress, which is where he gets a lot of the structure for the first Star Wars movie from. Um, let's see. There's a World War II movie called Dam Busters, where he that's where a lot of the like the fighting scenes take place, and that's essentially kind of where the ending kind of comes. That's where he got the idea for the ending. Firing it into a certain thing. That's kind of where he got that idea from. Um, those are the two major ones, and then it's like Dune. Dune is a pretty big influence. And a different series called Empire pops up a lot by Isaac Asimov. That one isn't as talked about anymore, Empire, but that was used to be considered the biggest sci-fi, one of the big sci-fi franchises is Empire. Um, there's a TV show version of it that actually wasn't that bad. I actually quite liked it, but it was on Apple, so nobody talked about it. Made recently. Um, let's see. Westerns are obviously a pretty decently big influence, but here, like Joseph Campbell, it's debated with Joseph Campbell how much Lucas knew about it initially when he was doing it, because Lucas does have a slight tendency to rework. Uh, his memory tends to be a little bit elastic occasionally, but he did become a noted Campbell enthusiast at a certain point. Uh, anyway, so that's the end of that rant. Um, yeah. Uh, Well, if you can't think, sometimes it's better to. It's hard. I know it's hard. It's hard. It's better to like just do something mindless. I guess. I've been thinking recently, and I've been reading some books about like existentialist philosophy. And sometimes when you're kind of so usually when you're stuck in the sort of mind thought palaces, at least for me, what's been helping lately is try and look at your thoughts from an objective point of view, which is hard. Like instead of like going, "Oh no, I'm thinking about this again," go like, "Okay, that is that thought. I am having this thought right now." And that's actually been really helpful for me, like to think to take a step back from my thoughts. You know, It's been helping me like get out of. I had this idea somewhat independently, but then I started reading that this is a real thing. So, uh, so if you're kind of in those thought processes, that might be something to keep in mind. Anybody been playing Marvel Rivals? It's this one time I've actually have been doing this sort of relevant thing is that I've been playing Marvel Rivals a bit, and I usually hate online multiplayer games. I hate myself that I'm actually having a little bit of fun with it. I don't want to acknowledge that it's partly because it stirs characters I like, but that might be a little bit. But I also just think it's kind of a fun game. And Squirrel Girl is finally getting her starring debut, which is nice. Hope the TV show. I'm also sad about that because they were going to make a TV show with her. That didn't work out, and the actress they had cast was great, and they've gotten her. She kind of does her voice now whenever she appears in cartoons now, and she's always so good in it. And they recently did not recently. This was a little bit ago, but nobody listened to it, so I'm trying to plug it. They did an audio drama thing with her that adapted the character, and I loved that podcast so much, and nobody listened to it, and nobody cared about it, and I'm almost so bummed that nobody cared about it. What's the thing, Jade? Jayden, what's the thing? I mean, we could play it, I guess. Probably bring in more people. Do I have any music on? Probably should put some music on. Although the music is always the most irritating thing to deal with, because usually then I have to spend the rest of the time slowly cutting it out and muting it. Oh, you're the thing. And you're clobbering time. I love the thing. I've been thinking recently, I want to make a whole long video about this at some point. I think the Thing is the single most underrated Marvel character in existence, and I'm hoping finally he'll get his. I'm hoping the new movie will finally be like his. Like, people will appreciate that eventually. Because, okay, like, so anyways, yeah. Yes, well, of course he will. Otherwise, I'll get the Gambinos on that. I'll get the Gambinos to blow up. No, I shouldn't make jokes about that. Could get in trouble for making a joke like that. Okay. I was thinking that I've been reading some old Fantastic Four comics lately, because, and the Thing is my favorite character in the Fantastic Four. It helps that a lot of people say that a lot of the original like Marvel guys said that the Fantastic Four, like Thing, was in many ways Jack Kirby, the co-creator of the Fantastic Four, was kind of his like avatar into the world. Like was essentially him wrote the Thing very much like himself. So I find there's something very charming about that, I guess. But there's a very human element to the Thing that is nice, which because he's very much because the Thing what occurred to me is that the Thing is very much is quite a bit like supposed to be quite a bit like Spider-Man in a lot of ways, which I know is weird, but he's essentially supposed to be a normal guy who's been thrown into a truly bizarre situation. And that's what's kind of cool that's what's kind of fun about him, is that he's just like a normal, he's a normal Brooklyn guy, and now he's like a rock monster, and he's just got to kind of deal with that now. And yes, there's some interesting cultural commentary with his character that they do. Solo series with him a little bit while back that I probably want to make a video about at some point. Last year, I'm currently reading that, and that is a very charming series of where the Thing goes on his own. It gets his own series for a little bit. Oh, hey, Gabriel, can you do me a favor? I'm not sure if that link works right now. Can you just click it to see if that link works? That I have right there. Oh, okay, good. I'm not also sure if the email part works as well. Could you just fill it out with your email, see if it works? No, it's to get you secretly subscribe to my newsletter. All magazines are about tricks, Gabriel. It's all about tricks. Would you believe the first time I did that bit, I wasn't doing it sincere. I was doing it like sincerely because I didn't know if it was working. And I realized, oh wait, somebody just, and I kept and it kept. I was like, I didn't know if it was going to work the first time. I had spent all night trying to figure out how to get that thing set up, and then I was like, oh wait, I could just keep, and somebody just signed up for it. I'm like, oh, okay.
And you'd be surprised some people don't pick up on the fact that what I'm doing.
I of course know these people off the top of my head. I think I know who. Okay, these are both YouTubers who died young, tragically young. Oh, poor them. Yes, Gordon Ramsay versus Chef Boyardee. How about Chef Hatchet from Total Drama Island? Oh yes, I was correct on that. Ah, I'm smart. Oh, that one would be fun. Okay. I've seen a picture of this guy. Yes. How about let's also throw in Christian Bale there. Let's make it a three-way. I can do that. Ah, that was good. Yes, I know. I'm very well aware of who Kevin Conroy and Adam West are. Yeah, that would be a decent one. I will not change your mind. It was hard to fight that. Adam West, in fact, was in Batman the Animated Series, if you don't remember. He played the Grey Ghost. Adam West, surprisingly, was pretty decent at voice acting. One thing I was thinking of looking at was the later seasons. I've seen... one thing I was looking at, possibly talking about at some point, was the later seasons of Super Friends, where they actually got a lot more serious inexplicably, and they did they told a more they actually got much more serious and tried to become a more honest adaptation of the Justice League comics, and I thought that would be an interesting thing to look at. But I don't know. I've seen pictures of Chef Russ, which is a great name, but I've never actually. I didn't know what his name was, but I knew who he was the second I saw a picture of him. Yes, that would be good. I'm trying to think of somebody who it could do. Julia. Ian Fleming versus. How about Zaz? From Beware the Batman. I know Professor Pig is in comics, but did you see Beware the Batman? Not a lot of people did. Yeah, one second. I gotta go to the bathroom. I will be back in a minute. I know he's a comic book character. Thank you, Delilah. I'll be back in 1 second. Hey ho, Delilah. Good to see you. Just taking off this. It's gonna freeze tonight, so I don't know what that means, but it will get very cold. I mean, I know what that means. It just hopefully it doesn't. We don't get cut off like we did yesterday, which was very frustrating. I disliked that. The room had gotten nice and big, and then boom, cut off. Robin, I don't know if you can see me, but hi, Robin. We'll say hi again when you're back. How's life treating the world's most dangerous artist? That's you, Delilah. Robin! Good to see you! I have an answer. Well, I might. I will definitely give one. Thunderbolt. Is it Batman? Is it Batman's birthday today? Oh. Well, happy birthday, Mr. Bruce. Kind of a random day. Why not make it March 30th? Because that's when Detective Comics 27 was first published. That's a random day. Yeah, that's a random day. Why not March 30th? March 30th would make more sense. Because that's when Detective Comics was first published. Zack Snyder does not get to decide when Batman Day is. You should, you should. Well, I guess we should draw Batman. Because he's based on you, right? I'm trying to come up with what the worst Batman game could be, but I can't think of one. There's a lot of them. Batman has a many video games that are very bad. But I'm trying to think of one. One game I was thinking of playing was on here. I've been trying to find a good ROM of it. There was a Spider-Man adventure game. There was. Well, that's why he's the best character. There was a very bad Spider-Man adventure game released that I really want to play, but I can't find a decent ROM of it. Hey, Jen, have you seen the new Spider-Man show, by the way? I'm curious. That doesn't work. So, Jane, I overthink quite a lot too, and what's been helping me lately with that is, so there's this okay, so I actually have that very similar problem, Jane, where I overthink and I kind of get stuck in loops, and what's been helping me with that is lately, is this idea, I came out with this independently, but then other people have talked about it, so I wasn't as smart as I thought I was, is, when you're in kind of those like psych loops, what you should try and do is, instead of think of it as like, okay, I'm having the thought again. Like, try and distance yourself from the thought. Like, try and look at it as an outsider, if that makes sense. Does this make sense? Because this is what's been helping me a lot lately. Kind of like go like, okay, I'm having this thought. I'm having this thought. I need to acknowledge that I'm having this thought and just kind of write it out. And like try and look at it as like I'm observing like weather or something. It's just like, okay, the thought is happening. That's my advice to people. That's really helped me out lately. Oh, Jaden. Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. I haven't watched it yet. I've been reading the comic version that they're putting out, but I haven't watched the show yet. To me, oh, Jaden, by the way, I was going to recommend this program to you because I think you would get a huge kick out of it. Yeah, I'll give it a watch at some point. Let's see. Okay. I was going to recommend this program. Am I also partly recommending this program because I've been spending a lot of time messing with it? Yes, and I want to show people. So this is a program called Hero Forge. And it's what you can do is you can create your own character. It's a free program. It's a free program, and you can use it to create pretty much almost any character you think of. Like, this is like the main character from my book. Let's see, but you can use it to create you can use it to create pretty modern characters. Let's see. Close. See, this is we're just putting together a quick character here. But you can go pretty in depth with it if you want. And it's like you can mess with, you can make them like 11 feet tall, have yeah, it's pretty cool. And so, okay, but here's what's cool about this. If you like a particular character you can make, Jaden, this is why I'm suggesting this for you. You can buy it, and they will you can buy it, and they'll send you a 3D version of it, like the actual model you created. So, if you want to use this to create your characters, that would probably be pretty helpful for you, I think. And it's free. It's called Hero Forge. It's HeroForge.com. Now, did I bring this up? Why did I bring this up? Partly because I thought Jaden would enjoy it, and partly because I've been spending hours playing with this program, trying to create characters, and a little part of me wanted to show them off. I spent hours working on stuff like this, and a little part of me wanted to show people it. So there we go. There's my character. Oh, this was me when I was trying to be funny. Oh, my lady, I will protect you. Okay. But I do legitimately think. Okay, I promise I'll stop bringing it up. It's part of a larger project I'm working on, which will hopefully someday I'll have time to focus on it. Maybe I'll work on it a little bit tonight, but we'll see. What day is it, by the way? Okay, it's Wednesday. So, Gabriel, who would you say your favorite villain is? I hate when it's windy because I have this tree that's against my window here, and it constantly scratches on it. So I keep thinking there's like somebody there, even though it's just a tree. one. There it is. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, whatever. Is music playing, by the way? That should be. Still don't like it. Hello, Kelly. Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, 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 Kelly. Good to see you. You've gotten home from the south of France again. How is the Riviera? How is the Riviera? No more dueling, I assume, Kelly? You have yet to challenge another man for besmirching your honor? It's a little known fact that Calais has killed 4 men in duels. Oh, wow. Is that good news or bad news? Strange news, certainly. Good, good. I'm glad to hear of it.
drawing with these. You're supposed to, but I hate drawing with them.
That's fun.
I mean, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah, we'll play this for two. Well, we'll go for 2 hours. You know, I made some videos about Marvel Rivals, the comic, and just thinking about this, it irritated me because people were like lecturing me about what the game was about, and I was like, "Fuck off!" Lecturing me about something I know quite well, and I get irritated when people lecture me about things I know quite well. And I said basically that the comic was kind of bad. It's bad. In fact, it's straight up really bad, honestly. And to the point that I got irritated by it, and I just stopped reading it. But my comment was basically that the storyline as presented in the comic was kind of incomprehensible, because all they did was just rush through like exposition to do like just an elaborate fight scene, and they even acknowledge like in the comic that it's hard to follow, but who cares? Just follow the fight scenes, and it's like kind of really bad jokes and full of like incomprehensible. And I said like slow this down, like show it from somebody's like slow this down, like tell the actual story. And people were like, well, the story's in the games, you gotta look it up in the games. Like, well, I'm not playing the game right now, I'm looking at the damn comic. This is a comic medium. Tell me a story using the medium. You can't like justify bad storytelling in one medium by saying, well, another medium does better. Well, who gives a shit about the other medium? If I'm reading a comic, I'm reading a comic. And people got so annoying about that. I gave up on it. Because I gave up on it, especially because it was only I only had worse things to say about the comic after the first issue. Like I was. I only had worse things to say, and I was like, well, people are just gonna get mad at me because it's very bad in the way like a lot of bad comics that are trying to be funny are bad. I don't know. It's and what it does a lot is like it does like a lot of reference. I don't know. It might be doing reference to the games. I don't know. I'm not intense enough of a person to like pick up on play styles, really different sorts of play styles. But like, what irritated me about the second comic, and this is the only place I'll ever get to express this opinion, I guess, is it stopped randomly so that the characters could dance, and I think that's they're trying to show off like when people do emotes and stuff, but it interrupted the story flow, wasn't funny, and people then declared, yo, that's awesome. And I was so irritated by that. I stopped reading because I was like, no, thank you. Like, you don't. I hate, by the way. I'm throwing this out there because nobody's here, so I can just say what I want. I hate when comics go. I hate when stories go, wow, that's so awesome. This is awesome. I'm like, shut up. Shut up with this. I hate that because it is telling the audience what they should be feeling about a certain thing. It's like it's writing the YouTube comment. It's like, wow, this is so awesome. Like that's so it's so annoying. This is so ridiculous. This is so awesome. This is yeah. How about writing like actual good things and then let other people say it's awesome. Like let other people write the review for you. Like Matt Fraction, who can write fun. Matt Fraction, who's a writer I really like, who can in fact write very funny dialogue. Had a Jimmy Olsen. His Jimmy Olsen comic was awesome, and it had things like having the mayor of Metropolis be a T-Rex who was going through a scandal at the time. So you can do those weird wacky stuff pretty easily, but it's like stop, stop that. I hate it. I hate it because it's like the equivalent of like a laugh track or something. It's very annoying. Anyways, that's my review of Marvel Rivals issue 2. It sucked. It was bad. It was really bad, and I don't like being super negative, but it was bad. It was bad, and it sucked in. If I don't know, people might like it, and I'll be like, yeah. Cool, cool. It references all the things you like, and that's all that is good. And I guess that's all that people want is just references to things. They don't want new things that are worthy of getting references on their own. They just want references to the stuff because we. Okay, now I am rambling about a subject nobody cares about in a video nobody watched. Well, actually, people did watch it, but doesn't know what he's talking about. Oh my god, bro doesn't know. Oh my god, shut up, those people. But I know very well what I talk about. It's actually in the game. I know it's in the game. This is a comic book. Comic books are a great medium, especially for expanding game stuff. You can tell a whole nice little story about the games, and especially since these people come from comics. Uh, just maybe, just maybe they should be able to tell a competent story in comic form. I don't know, since they're all comic book characters. We're gonna call it at 2 hours. On the stream, it's 2 hours. Okay. Then I probably will take a break till the weekend. Does that sound good for everybody? I think that sounds great. Or if I get bored. Are you trying to sell me something? Are you trying to sell me something? I'm not open for buying anything. I don't follow people on Discord I don't know. So oh, Rose, thank you so much for the follow. Oh my god, I appreciate that so much. Okay, what are you finding? Redtopia, the... How dare you? Oh, let's see. Ooh, very nice. I see them. They are very nice silverware. Yeah, that could be worth something. Dream big. Gabriel, dream big. They could be worth $10, $12. By the way, if you see Eliza here, who's over on the other platform, if I could give a little rant about how when people try and do this, don't try and sell me art on here. By the way, I'm not interested in buying it. This has happened a few times where like people will storm in, try and sell me something, try and sell like art, and I'm not. I don't want it. If I want to enter in a relationship, like a commissioning thing with you, I'll seek you guys out. I'll seek the artist out. Like don't like try and solicit selling like art stuff to me. Um, it's awkward. It's awkward. It slows. It's awkward. It slows every. It's awkward. It slows everything down. And if I had wanted to get that sort of stuff, I would. It slows everything down. I don't like making deals on stream. Stream. I need time to think about that. And usually I have people in mind that I want to work with if I do want to commission somebody. So just my opinion on that. Well, it's been about 2 hours. I'm gonna head out. Going out to dinner tonight. Hope everybody had a good time.